So thank you to Rogers and Gray. Again, you can tweet at us, hashtag CCYP Jobs, if you have questions. If you'd like to learn more, we're going to have Q&A at the end. But we're going to move on to our next presenter right now. Cape Associates is up next. We're going to share their recruitment video here on the CCYP Virtual Job Fair.
We're excited today to share with you a few stories of Cape Associates employees and their varied career paths that they've found here. This is a special place to work, and everybody's story and path here is a little bit different.
I was started out as a project manager.
When I started in '86, I came on as a journeyman carpenter.
I started at the front desk answering phones.
I've been working with Cape Associates coming up on 6 years now.
I've worked at Cape Associates for 12 years.
I have worked at Cape Associates since 1978.
The company has broadened the services that it offers as individuals have taken on new challenges.
Through time and necessity, I became a junior foreman, and then just naturally progressed into a foreman's role.
I've evolved and grown into being the manager of the property management division.
Prior to my arrival with Cape Associates, there was no plumbing division, and in that time we have established a strong division or department within Cape Associates.
David Dean and Mark Kinane went out and recruited Dave Plum, and out of that grew our plumbing department.
All of our employees are basically treated as if they're family.
In my 28 years, I've never felt like I was treated just as an employee.
From a long time ago, they saw how to take care of their employees.
Working for Cape Associates has been more than just a job for me. Over the few years, it has helped me so much in so many different aspects of my life, with starting my life, getting me into the shoes I'm in now.
I love what I do. I've been doing this for quite a while, and to stand back and look at these projects after they're done is pretty nice, you know.
It's wonderful to see the array of jobs that are available at Cape Associates, and it's wonderful to have two of the stars of that recruitment video here in our studio today. I'm going to start with Matt Cole, the president and CEO of Cape Associates, to talk a little bit about your organization and tell a little bit of the story. So Matt, welcome, and thank you for being part of our virtual job fair.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you to CCYP for hosting today. It's pretty fun to be up here amongst some pretty impressive peers, both Rogers and Gray and Cooperative Bank. We used to sort of hope to grow up to be like companies like that, and here we are on stage with them. Both happen to help support us in our business and what we do. So again, flattered to be up here with them. Cape Associates is, as you alluded to earlier, a third-generation family-run business. Myself and my two sisters represent the third generation. Our grandfather started the business in 1971, and we're tasked with not screwing it up. And so far, I think we're doing a good job. So Cape Associates is a diversified custom builder. We do everything from property management to multi-million-dollar new builds that include both high-end residential and commercial. So actually, both of the firms sitting either side of me are clients whose offices we've renovated. The company is divided into 4 divisions to that same end. The core has always been our custom building group. Supporting that are 3 other departments that make us a full service operation. So we have a painting group, pretty self-explanatory, a services division that executes efficiently and effectively smaller projects, and our property management group, which Cinnamon will tell you about later, where we take care of homes primarily that are seasonally vacant, and also managed commercial properties. So both the work that we do and the territory that we cover is the 15 towns of the Cape plus Plymouth, provide us some pretty good diversity, and that diversity brings with it quite a bit of stability to the workflow. So we happen to be in a very strong market where a lot of people are busy, but we are particularly busy and have a very strong backlog of work, hence the hiring and interest in increasing our employee count. But even in leaner times, when the market isn't so flush, we tend to find ourselves busy because of the diversification. So I don't know if you want me to leave it at that and
you can,
go
if
to
you
your
have
questions.
a couple more things to say. I mean, I'm thinking that, you're mentioning the busyness, and I think that I know several years ago we did see a little bit of a dip in the construction industry, but I think we're pretty lucky here on Cape Cod to have so many growing businesses as well as second homeowners and, a lot of turnover in the real estate market, so certainly enough to keep you busy. Have you found some challenges in staying busy, or has it been a fairly steady for you?
It's been incredibly steady, and even through that downturn, I think the Cape in general, but Cape Associates in particular, didn't suffer the fate that you saw in the headlines in some other areas like Southern Florida or Las Vegas, because there you had a significant overproduction that we simply don't have here. So we're somewhat sheltered from that. As a company that's 46 years old with a pretty strong reputation and that puts a lot of energy into maintaining that reputation, we stayed busy and have always been busy. So really during the downturn and coming out of it, we came out of it a lot sooner than other areas and other companies, and that really just propelled us into a period of time where the company grew substantially.
Sure, and we've been talking a little bit about culture, and I think that, looking at the varied jobs that are available for Cape Associates, the variety of jobs that you have that keep your company operating, what is the culture like, and how do you work to make sure that everybody kind of feels like part of a team?
Yeah, so we do a lot to make sure that there's sort of a cohesive atmosphere. Yet at the same time, we're organized into project sites and project teams. So I think there's a lot of, the culture is one where we help each other, we support each other, and there's a lot of teamwork where, again, teams are assigned to projects and we build some amazing projects. We do very, very unique and special homes and buildings and are fortunate to do those, and the project teams really need to gel and work together. So I think we both challenge each other and push each other. At the same time, we support each other and learn from one another and grow. I think we don't talk enough about the opportunities for new people coming in to be surrounded by some amazingly talented individuals, both on the trade side and in the office. And just like we heard earlier, we've hired individuals with no skill and brought them to a very high level of skill. So we have the systems and the infrastructure to put around candidates that may not have experience for certain roles.
And so again, hearing that great opportunity for entry-level folks who may be just out of high school or looking for a career change, and so there's a mechanism there that they can start learning, in the field and then progress up. So there is an kind of a ladder to climb, if you will.
There absolutely is. Again, both within the roles that are available within our office and management roles, as well as the field roles. So we've got some really fun success stories, some of which were featured in the video, and many others that weren't, where individuals have taken off on their own journey and grown their knowledge and been supported along the way.
Great. Well, I want to bring Cinnamon into the conversation. Love talking to the employees. So Cinnamon, tell us a little bit about your story with Cape Associates. How did you arrive at this employer?
Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah. I was self-employed in a landscaping company, and an opportunity opened up at Cape Associates to answer the phones part-time, and it fit into my schedule, not working off-season. After about a year of answering phones and filing, I realized that going to work for somebody was something I was very interested in. And I guess I was a year into it, and I approached Michael Cole with wanting to come to work full-time, and he had the same idea. At that time, the property management division was one gentleman who was there a very long time, and he watched about 60 homes. And I came on to help him, and over the course of the last 9 years, Cape Associates has supported me in managing that division, growing it to over 400 homes and about 10 commercial properties, and now what was a one-man property management piece is now, excuse me, over 13 people. So it's been a journey, and they've supported me all the way through.
And that was the next question I was going to ask is do you feel supported? And it certainly seems like you do. Can you elaborate a little bit about the support you get?
So it's a constant communication piece. It's a constant reevaluation piece, taking new ideas, not being afraid to run with them, feel like I'm listened to by my upper management, and I do a lot of listening as well. And it works on all levels.
So would you encourage other people to join at the Cape Associates team?
Absolutely. I spend a lot of time at work, but it's also recognized that I have a family, and there's never any doubt that my family comes first, which allows just the whole thing to work. And 120 people, and everyone honors everyone's position, so inside the workplace and outside the workplace.
So what's your favorite part about going to work every day?
Oof. I guess just being glad that I like to go to work every day, that I wake up and it's never, yes, it is a job, but I enjoy walking in the front door, and nothing is ever the same. It's dynamic. I could have a day, I think every day I have a day planned and nothing quite happens the way you want it, and that's okay. So
I like that. So Matt, what kind of employees are you looking for? And again, obviously there's so many different types of positions that you are looking for at Cape Associates, but is there a type of person that you're looking for to join the team at Cape Associates?
So without getting into the specific role, the type of person that we look for is somebody that is willing to listen, to learn, is able to learn, sort of retain, that's got that sort of drive, you might say is fire in the belly, right? Again, it's not necessarily all experience. It's individuals that want to work hard, work as a team, and learn and retain and grow and continuously develop and learn as they go forward.
And I'm sure it's wonderful for you to see those success stories, to see the employees rise through the ranks and really become successful and go from point A to point Z, if you will.
It's really, I think, the best part about the whole thing. We build beautiful homes, and so often that's what you put in the magazine, in your ad, but it's the individual stories and watching them build a career, watching a chef that didn't know anything about carpentry go from that to master carpenter, leading as a foreman on a crew, leading other carpenters in 6-7 years, watching that progression and being able to now, with the better systems and better training that we have in place, be able to accelerate that process so that it's happening better and faster than it has before. That's the most fulfilling.
Is it challenging for you to find the employees that you need on Cape Cod?
It's absolutely challenging. I mean, by all means, the construction industry on the Cape has been at full employment for a number of years. So it's tough. We have very high standards. So it isn't easy. It feels like, and I'm sure to the public who see our ads, it feels like we're continuously hiring, but that's because we want the best. We're going to continue to look. We're going to grow our ranks. We've got a strong backlog of work and steady employment to offer.
Great. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the opportunities that you have available. Tell us what you're looking for. Who are you hiring right now?
So again, my panel mates here can rest easy that we won't be competing with them for employees, but we're looking for carpenters. We need 3 or 4 additional carpenters. We'd like to hire 1 or 2 additional plumbers. We have 2 wonderful master plumbers that will support and nurture another plumber on our team. We also have a tile setter position and truck driver position open at this time.
Great. And so if folks are interested, I mean, what kind of, I would think that a truck driver probably has to have a CDL, right? And you're looking for carpenters with experience. So are there requirements, are there experience necessary for these jobs? And if so, how do folks find out about that?
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked that question. The truck driver does not need a CDL. We have this individual position is in one of our lighter duty trucks, and all of these positions don't necessarily require experience. So we are looking for carpenters with experience, but we would also entertain a candidate that had none, that again had those other attributes, wants to learn, so on and so forth, and put a team around them that can show them the ropes.
Great. And so the application process, how do folks, if they're watching at home or if they're here in the studio, if they're interested, what's the best way for them to submit their resume or to apply for your open positions?
So the easiest thing to do is to go online to our website and go to the careers page. You can also come into any one of our offices and fill out an application.
Fantastic. And Cinnamon, one more question for you, just asking if there's anything else that you would like to say about your experiences at Cape Associates, anything that you would like to share in terms of being an employee and having a wonderful job here on Cape Cod.
It is a great place to work. There's a lot of opportunity. Matt spoke about this a little bit, that the positions that are available, not that there's no experience necessary, but there's a big support system out in the field to give you the skills needed to get you up to carpentry speed, and same with plumbing and the apprenticeship program. So it's a good place to work.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Cinnamon, and thank you, Matt, for being here and part of our virtual job fair. And again, for those viewing at home, if you have questions, you can tweet at us at CCYP Jobs. That's our hashtag. We are here live at the Cape Cod Community Media Center for the inaugural CCYP Virtual Job Fair. One more employer joining us today is the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod, and we'll share their video, and then we'll hear from the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod.
During the interview process, one of the questions we're often asked is, what is it like to work here? We're a local community bank, so a big part of who we are is providing financial support to our customers. But that's not all we are. We have over 170 people who work for the Coop from all backgrounds, interests, lifestyles, and talents. We work hard and we have fun celebrating our accomplishments together.
My favorite part about working at the Coop is the community involvement.
A sense of family.
Trying to solve problems for our customers and have them have the overall best experience.
Support for employees to learn and grow, and it makes the job feel less of a job and more of a career.
You get a real bond with these people over time.
We truly enjoy some of the giving aspects of the bank and what we do and how we do it in the community.
I am me, and I have a value that I bring to this bank, and they notice it.
Relationships matter to us, from our work colleagues to what we do in the community to our family and friends.
As soon as you cross that bridge, you can take a deep breath.
See the various seasons, the beaches are great.
It's the best place to raise your children. It's got good schools, it's got a great culture.
Strong sense of community.
That's spending 2 hours on a bus commuting back from the city, because I get to go on my boat and take a nice quick 20-minute boat ride.
Any town that you go to here, there's the beaches and the woods, there's tons of walking paths, and it's just a really great place to feed your soul. It's gorgeous.
When you work at the Coop, you have the opportunity to get involved in the community, participate in fun events, and be part of something bigger than one person or one department. Working at the Coop is more than a job. You're a valued member of our team. Come join us.
And joining us tonight from the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod, I welcome Lori Mall, Vice President and Human Resources Manager, and Marketing Coordinator Christina Bologna. We'll start with Lori. Lori, tell us a little bit about the Coop. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here this evening and share some information about employment at the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod. I'd like to share some information about banking careers. People often don't understand what it means to have a banking career. And traditionally, individuals think of the positions that you would interact with at the branch level. We have a tremendous team of tellers and bankers as a first point of contact. And we also have a large team of individuals in positions that you may not have considered before. As a community-focused organization, We provide resources for individuals across the Cape. For example, our residential lending team works with people to help them purchase their dream homes. Local businesses are created and expand with the help of our commercial lending team. Our marketing team with Christina gets involved in all kinds of different community sponsorships and charitable contributions. Our operations team works remotely with customers, providing solutions and answering questions, both simple and complex, throughout the day. And to support all of those divisions of the bank, we have a series of administrative types of departments. So we have retail administration, finance and accounting, compliance, IT, and HR, just to name a few. In today's recruiting landscape, we understand that candidates aren't just asking, am I a good fit for this position? But they're actually asking, is this company a good fit for me? So our video showed some insights about what it's like to work at the Coop, but I would also like to share some more information about our employees. Our employees come from a variety of different kinds of backgrounds. So we have a lot of employees that do have previous banking experience, but you're not necessarily born into community banking. So we have individuals that have made career changes and moved into banking. For example, we have a former teacher that works with us in our training department. We have a former bed and breakfast owner who works in our loan services division. And we have a former software developer who works with small businesses in our commercial lending team. While each of our positions have prescribed qualifications, there are certain attributes and characteristics that we value in our employees and that we look for in our candidates. We value sincerity. We look for individuals who are confident and comfortable in their own skin and enjoy building relationships with customers. We look for individuals who treat each other with respect, are good listeners, engender a sense of trust through following through on their commitments. And we also look for people who like to work in a team environment and understand what it means to work collaboratively. We value quality of life. I think there were some fantastic pictures in the video of how beautiful it is here on Cape Cod. So in addition to our careers at the Coop, we are runners, we're boaters, we're actors, we are beer brewers, we are disc golfers, we're also wedding planners and travelers. Believe it or not, some people like to go over the bridge to see additional sights. We're also part-time chauffeurs for some very talented swimmers, gymnasts, and hockey players. Our employees get involved in different community organizations, like Christina, who sits on the board with CCYP, or they may volunteer in a different capacity. Some as parents with organizations like the Girl Scouts and Little League. I'd also like to mention that we have a lot of new parents at the Coop. In the past 18 months, we've had over 10 babies born to employees. And I had to laugh at this. We actually have 6 more on the way. When I was talking to Christine about this earlier, I thought it was only 4, but we're actually 6, at least that I'm aware of. So that combination of experience, skill sets, character traits, and participation in rewarding activities outside of work is what makes us great community bankers. I'd also like to share some information about what makes us unique as a bank. I think you saw a quick clip in the video of a dunk tank. So that was the day that we participated in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. But we decided to take it up a notch and not just pour buckets over our heads, and we decided to rent a dunk tank, which, by the way, was also filled with ice. And we had this guy at the time who always dressed impeccably, very professionally every day. And he volunteered to be the first person to go into the dunk tank. So he was in a complete suit and tie, shoes and socks, right into the icy water. And then he proceeded to challenge the rest of us to do the same. And by the way, that was our CEO at the time. So I think that just goes to speak to our culture. We're not afraid to laugh at ourselves. We're not afraid to let our professional guard down and have fun with each other. We're certainly not afraid to get wet. Another trait that sets us apart is our size. We are small enough where individual accomplishments are recognized and they're impactful. We're also small enough where individuals across the organization have opportunities to participate in different projects related to software upgrades or product development or employee engagement initiatives like employee recognition programs. Yet we are large enough where we're able to offer all of the most innovative technology and all of the available banking channels to our customers. We also provide career opportunities for growth. Last year, over 15% of our employees were promoted into different positions throughout the organization, allowing them to expand their banking careers. Something else that's kind of neat about our organization is that we have a new CEO. So Joel Crowell, our former iconic CEO, instilled an overwhelming sense of integrity, community, and was really the foundation for our successful banking model. Our new CEO, Lisa Oliver, comes to us with that same philosophy. She also brings a lot of new ideas and a sense of excitement and energy. So it's a great time to work at the bank as we move into the next chapter of our success under her leadership.
Well, thank you, Lori.
Okay.
That was a wonderful picture of the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod. And I want to give Christina an opportunity to talk about her role as marketing coordinator. I know, Christina, you've been with the Coop for many years. What's it like to work at the Coop?
Well, I've been at the Coop for a little over 4 years, and as Lori mentioned, we have people who don't have backgrounds in banking, and I'm one of them. I have a degree in print journalism and public relations and a really strong nonprofit background. So when I stepped into the position at the bank as marketing coordinator, it really started as more admin and assistant work. And over the years, there's just been such a wonderful opportunity to grow and develop my career. And it's really amazing to work for an employer that supports that. Very involved with CCYP. As Lori mentioned, I sit on the board. I also ran the events committee for a number of years. And I was one of the class members for the very first mentor exchange program. And that just did amazing wonders for my career. And as I said, the Coop supported me 100% of the way because they knew that being able to invest in myself and in my journey was just going to make me more excited to bring those ideas back to the workplace. The culture at the bank is very organic, and we put just as strong of an emphasis on customer service for our internal colleagues as we do out into the external community, and that makes a huge difference. I just want to share, it was kind of funny as I was thinking about this. When I first started at the Coop, I wasn't, I don't usually wear a banker hat, and I was almost taken aback when people would refer to me as a banker, and I'd have this sort of be taken aback and say, oh, I'm not a banker, I'm in marketing, and this isn't my background. And over the years, it's just come to mean something completely different for me. So being a banker doesn't mean no offense against people who wear suits every day, but you don't have to wear a suit every day. You don't have to work with numbers every day, because you probably wouldn't want me working with numbers every day. And what it really means is to be involved in the community. As a community bank, I see our role as helping people to live their fullest life, and everyone has aspirations and dreams, and part of what makes that happen is money. You need money to be able to live and live fully. So our job is to help people learn about financial responsibility and to have a place where they can house their finances and grow their finances and grow their families. So I consider my role as a banker to help in that journey for people. And of course, I'm very involved in the nonprofit world as well, and the bank has always been supportive of sitting on various boards, serving on various committees, and my own personal involvement in the community. I definitely have space to do that.
And what I'm hearing is great advice for all of us looking for a job on Cape Cod. Is sometimes you have to look outside of what you think you might be looking like. I'm not a banker. I'm an artist. I'm creative. There's not a role for me there. But as you have found, Christina, there is a role for you as a creative person in an industry that you may not have first considered. So what was it that made you look at the Coop for employment?
It was actually a former coworker of mine. I was working at a different job. Well, obviously, I was working at a different job. But yeah, I wasn't even looking, and she sent the job description over to me, and she said, oh, this matches all of your skills. I think you would be perfect for this position. And I said, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not looking. I'm fairly happy. I'm very loyal to my current boss, and we had a great working relationship. And then I started to think about it more, and there wasn't, it was a fabulous company, but just not a lot of places to grow. And as I started looking into the cooperative bank more, I realized that there was that opportunity there that I might not have in the moment. So I threw my hat in the ring, and Lori was the first face that I saw, the first contact, and it's just been a really fabulous experience. I used to joke around, and I probably still do that, when people would ask me how things were going at the Coop, I'd just rave about it and say, oh, I'm still in the honeymoon stage. Like years later, 1 year later, 2 years later, and 4 years later, sometimes I feel, oh, I'm still in the honeymoon stage. It's just, it's really such a great fit for me.
That's a good feeling to have. So, Lori, let's talk a little bit about some employment opportunities with the Coop. Who are you looking for?
Absolutely. So in our retail banking area, we're looking for an assistant branch manager in our West Barnstable location. We're also looking for a senior teller for our Marston's Mills office location. In our operations center, we are in the process of hiring for an executive administration coordinator. And this speaks directly to why we're here this evening. We are looking for a recruitment and human resources specialist, someone that will focus on mainly on recruitment and sourcing candidates. So that's a new position for us. But I would just like to emphasize that even if we don't have an opportunity that matches what you might be looking for today, we still want to talk to you. So please feel free to reach out to me directly. We also have on our website an additional opportunities link. So if you don't see something that you'd like to apply to today, you can also submit your resume and application through that link.
Fantastic. And again, if folks want to apply for those jobs, the best way for them to find out is the Coop's website?
Right. So it's right on our website, mycapecodbank.com. At the bottom of the homepage, you can select career opportunities.
Wonderful. Well, Lori and Christina from the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah.
Have some questions from the audience. So we'll start with the employees, and we'll start here. The question is, why are you successful in your role?
Ooh, because of the support probably of my colleagues, and the support of my colleagues, the support of the company. It's a really great team atmosphere. That the whole purpose of kind of the way that our teams are structured is to support each other. So, yeah.
Having support of your coworkers is a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is.
Great. Cinnamon, for you.
I'd have to second that it's the people that I work with, that we all work together to get situations taken care of. My management supports me, and I support the people that work for me. So,
great. And Christina?
Yeah, I can't deny that. You know, no man is an island. We all rely on the support of our teams. The other thing I would say too that I love is the ability to not have to fit in a box, that I'm allowed to be me. Lori and I were joking around earlier, like I always have funky earrings on. And it's very much embraced that I'm allowed to be innovative. I'm allowed to bring my ideas to the table, and they're listened to. Sometimes they're enacted, and I love that. I love that leadership opportunity.
Wonderful. And now a question for the employers. What makes a job candidate stand out in the hiring process?
I really think it's just bringing that drive. So we all kind of spoke about, you can have those soft skills, you can have the cultural fit. I think it's that really willingness to go above and beyond. Research your prospective employer. Give them some questions they've probably never had before. Ask us something other than just saying thanks for the opportunity to come in and interview. I'd love to work for you. Give us some feedback. Give us some more things to go off of. Really sell yourself to that extent and have that conversation. And that would really bring it above and beyond, is just going above and beyond.
Great. Matt?
I think the homework piece is critical. Come in prepared, understand the company, soak up all that you can that we spend a lot of time and energy putting out there. So through our social channels, through our website, come in informed and ask great questions, and you can stand apart. I think both as a prospective employee and as an employee, it really doesn't take as much as you would think to differentiate yourself from the pack, right? So it's volunteering in the community on boards. It's it's volunteering, for something within the organization. It's asking for, a little more responsibility. It's, again, coming in with really good questions that show that you understand the organization. All you need is that little slight edge difference, and it doesn't take as much as you think.
Wonderful. And Lori?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with the piece about doing your homework and understanding the bank, the business, and understanding what the role is that you're interviewing for. I also think, we are focused on relationship building relationships with customers. So we look for individuals that are genuine, that have, don't be afraid to show your personality. And yeah.
Great. So I have a question. I know that all three of you and all three of your organizations are really focused on being out in the community. I think that there hasn't been a CCYP event that I've been to that I haven't seen someone from the Coop, someone from Rogers and Gray, someone from Cape Associates. So how do you balance encouraging your employees to participate in the community with them, feeling overworked? Is there a balance for that?
Sure. We actually really support that. We have a whole program through business development, Jess's department, that helps employees do that. We have 4 or 5 different programs that help with donations to different community events or different programs in the community. And we also offer 1 community day a year, as long as your manager approves it, to go out and do whatever it is you need to do in the community with your involvement there, aside from your paid time off, which we also offer a lot of as well. We also help our employees leave work early. They might be able to adjust their schedules to go to another event. And we just encourage that participation, and most of the time, and probably almost all the time, we pay for those events as well. So it's really, that piece is very open. And then we also just do, a lot of people contribute to these events. So just in the top of my head, we had an event to help put bags of donations and goodies to kids going into foster care, give them a duffel bag full of items so that they would have something when they left their homes to their new homes for the first time. And we had about 80 people come on a Saturday to fill those bags and contribute. They brought their families, they brought whoever they wanted to bring, and it was just a great event, and we were all crying by the end thinking about it and watching videos and things like that. So I think it's just the involvement, and it's more than just one person. We all do it. So
great. And Matt, Cape Associates, how do you balance that community service and employment?
So it happens somewhat organically. A lot of it's left to the individual to decide what they want to participate in and where they want to get involved. There's really very little that is mandatory, and if it is, it's during work hours. So again, a lot of the stuff that we do off hours, the employees volunteer, they connect with a cause, and we tend to support it wholeheartedly. So it seems like there's an infinite number of ways to get involved, and leave it to the employee to balance their schedule and their commitments, and just more or less play a supportive role.
Great. And Lori?
Community involvement is definitely integrated into our culture. So we provide opportunities during work time. We have different organizations that we support annually. If someone is unable to go to networking events that may be after hours, we fully support individuals that are part of boards, different organizations, if they need to attend meetings during the day. We have an employee involvement committee with representatives from each department that put together, if we're, especially around the holidays, putting together care packages for organizations throughout the Cape. So that's all done during the work hour.
Wonderful. And do our employees have anything to say about their community involvement, your community involvement, if you're able to balance that with your regular workday?
Absolutely, yeah. Myself, I'm personally just obviously being involved in the marketing department. That's part of my job, but people want to be there. Ash talked about Together We Rise, which was a great day that we spent back in May. 80 plus people, and Thanksgiving we do an annual Thanksgiving dinner for the homeless, which is amazing, and people clamor to help with that. I mean, it's just, it's
wonderful.
There are a lot of opportunities, and as Matt said, it's left a lot up to the employees, but we do sponsor events through Habitat and other things, and I think given our Cape Associates skill set, it comes across maybe a little differently that we're able to help actually out in the field with some of those projects.
Great. Christina?
Yeah, I mean, as as someone who manages our events, I see it all the time. We always have employees coming to volunteer. We just did Hyannis Open Streets on Sunday, and we always see them show up, and it's something very strongly supported by the bank. Lori mentioned the Employee Involvement Committee. They head up something called Charity Jeans Day. So employees are encouraged to wear jeans for a donation to a nonprofit. And recently, with all of the hurricane activity, we actually decided to hold special jeans days just to raise money for Houston, for Florida, and for Puerto Rico. And we actually raised over $5,000, which was really amazing to see how our employees stepped up and did that and did it on their own time. And yeah, always around the holidays, people really, they just want to give. It's cool to see.
We're lucky to be here on Cape Cod. So this might be a tough question to answer, but is there such a thing as a typical work day? And if so, can you kind of take us through your typical work day?
Enter the building, smile, and so happy to see all my colleagues.
Birds are chirping.
Birds are chirping. It's just like a dream. For a lot of people, I think there is a typical work day. We have some workflows in place that really support the balance of their work day so that people aren't overwhelmed. Myself in more of a supportive department, there's not a typical work day. So it's a hard way, it's a hard question to answer across the board. So yes and no.
There is no typical work day, at least for me. I think our field, the guys out in the field have more of a typical work day, start, stop time. But I'm sure they're met every day with challenges too. So.
Great. Christina, typical work day?
Yeah, you picked the wrong crowd. I joke sometimes that I should change my title to professional email answerer, because that's a lot of the job is just coordinating all the moving pieces, especially if we're doing events, if we're scheduling a photo op, stuff out in the community. It's like everyone's schedules that need to be coordinated, lots of meetings, and we have in our marketing department, we have a shared workspace, so we do a lot of brainstorming. So we're able to just spin our chairs around and pull up to the table, and it's covered with material we can write on, so we doodle and so really no typical work day, but a lot of coordination.
Wonderful. Well, I'd like to thank our panelists for joining us for CCYP's inaugural virtual job fair. I'd like to thank our studio audience for joining us here. I'd like to thank those joining us virtually, whether you're watching on channel 99 or 98 or online via our virtual stream. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, you can find information about all of these employers online at capecodyoungprofessionals.org. Thank you all again so much for joining us, and we'll see you in January with part 2 of our virtual job fair. Thank you so much.